Charles. I'm live in Windsor, where tens of thousands will line the route and millions more will watch the service on TV.
It's so lovely to see the whole country come together for the weddings.
Also tonight, out of Africa, the special place that bonds Meghan and Harry. And around the UK, how the rest of the country is getting involved.
From Windsor, this is ITV Evening News with Mary Nightingale.
Good evening from Windsor, where the stage Prince Charles is going to walk the bride-to-be down the aisle, although he won't, we're told, actually give her away. Meghan's mother, Doria, met with the Queen this afternoon, and a short time ago, Prince Harry and the Duke of Cambridge greeted members of the public outside Windsor Castle. Paul Davis reports on the final countdown to Harry and Meghan's big day.
The crowds had been waiting for this moment all day. Prince Harry and his older brother and best man, Prince William, walking out from Windsor Castle to meet some of those who'd come to wish him well. No sign of pre-wedding nerves here as the princes worked the crowd. A relaxed Harry talking to royal enthusiasts of all ages. The scene's a repeat of those witnessed before the Duke of Cambridge's wedding. A treat for a patient crowd at the end of Prince Harry's. The sun has been shining on Windsor all day, with the forecast predicting more of the same tomorrow. All helping to bolster a feel-good atmosphere, with royal enthusiasts arriving early to stake out the very best positions to see the bride and groom.
I love it. I love the tradition. I think we're the envy of the world. It's so lovely to see the whole country come together for the weddings. Yeah. Always is. Always such an amazing spirit. We're a great country.
It's estimated that 115,000 people will be here in Windsor by the time Meghan Markle is driven up the long walk to St George's Chapel, where Prince Harry will be waiting. And we now know, taking the place of her own father, it will be her about-to-become father-in-law, Prince Charles, who will accompany her up the aisle. Prince Charles, seen here arriving at Windsor this afternoon, is said to be very touched to have been asked. It's understood Harry and Meghan asked him to stand in when it became clear her own father wouldn't be well enough to attend. The Prince of Wales has performed the role before. Alexandra Knatchbull, a close family friend, took his arm in 2016 when her own father was suffering ill health. Harry and Meghan will be relieved to know that the Duke of Edinburgh will be well enough to attend their ceremony. The Duke, seen here at the Christmas church service at Sandringham, will be making his first public appearance since his hip operation last month. The stage is set, and tomorrow a watching world will join 600 invited guests to witness the moment Meghan Markle is welcomed into the House of Windsor. Prince Harry and his brother now heading back into the castle, where he'll spend his last night as a single man. Paul Davis, ITV News, Windsor.
Well, in the past few minutes, we've had just a glimpse of the bride-to-be. Meghan Markle was all smiles as she arrived at the Cliveden Hotel in Berkshire with her mother, Doria. They will both be spending the night there. There she is, just getting out of the car. Prince Harry, meanwhile, is going to be staying in Ascot with his brother, Prince William. And the next time the couple see each other, of course, will be in St George's Chapel at the altar. Well, the narrow streets of this town got just a taste today of exactly how packed it's going to be tomorrow. As you can see from these shots, the castle will host another bit of royal history. The service itself will take place in St George's Chapel, just behind me. Just there it is. But it's what happens afterwards that is the main draw for many people who are waiting here. The newlyweds are going to hold a carriage procession through the streets to say thank you to the public. Geraint and Vincent now on the crowds and the excitement.
It is very nearly party time in Windsor. The prime pavement positions have been claimed. The flag waving has already started. Celebrations are afoot.
I've come armed with a sleeping bag and a blanket and things like that, but I don't know whether I'm getting too old for this. And to just sit and wait.
Surely not.
And just sit and wait. But it's the atmosphere. If you could bottle that and sell it, you'll be a multimillionaire.
What's your name?
My name is Patrick McKemmy.
Hi, Patrick.
Hey.
Latecomers in search of a good view have had to settle for corners further away from the castle.
We came from San Francisco, California. We got here yesterday. Got here about 5:30, come up here, staked our spot out, and we're looking forward to seeing the carriage ride with Meghan and Harry.
We just feel a connection with them. We're an interracial couple too. Everyone sees Meghan in the United States as biracial, but there's a subset of black people who think, right on, we got a sister in the castle. It's really, really special to black people.
TV news crews speak in dozens of different languages here. Foreign stations have sent their stars.
Is very important from the Portuguese public.
Are you the best dressed man in Portugal, Manuel?
I'm the most popular entertainer, in television entertainer, and yes.
That too?
Perhaps. Bye-bye.
Oh, make them move then. They're nodding up and down.
Mine doesn't work.
Oh, shame. Sandy, you've seen one or two royal weddings over the course of your life.
Quite a lot, yes.
Does this one feel different?
Yes.
Why?
I think it's better. I think they're well suited, where lots of the others weren't.
And for the visitors to this most English of towns, some traditional fare. Two Germans in a fish and chip shop?
Yeah.
Right, just
First time.
English style.
Sounds like a joke.
No. We are celebrating the royal family. And now we say it's a big wedding. And it's Meghan and Harry, and they are so big in love. We in Germany, we don't have royals.
You can enjoy ours for a little bit.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will be steeped in tradition, of course. But in Windsor today, they're getting ready for a royal wedding in a modern world. Geraint Vincent, ITV News.
Well, Lucrezia Millerini is on the long walk, where many of the crowds are going to be for that carriage procession tomorrow. So, Lou, how many have actually already staked out their spot?
Well, I can tell you, Mary, it's starting to get busier by the minute here, really. And they're calling it the long wait on the long walk. And for quite a few people here, it will be, because they're going to be camping out here beneath the stars. The reason why, well, of course, it's prime location to get that first glimpse of the happy couple when they have been officially married, when they come out of St George's Chapel and they take part in that procession in that wonderfully ornate open-top carriage. And, you know, it might get a bit chilly. They've got their sleeping bags here, they've got their jumpers here, they've got a few blankets. They don't seem to mind. And also they're incredibly buoyed by the fact that in the last hour we actually got a glimpse of the groom, Prince Harry. He was out and about. He was here with his big brother, best man, Prince William, and they were shaking hands. They were having photos taken. And you know what? He just seemed incredibly relaxed for somebody who's getting married tomorrow in front of the world. Mary.
Lucrezia, thank you. Well, tomorrow's ceremony will have a distinctly transatlantic feel, of course, including those actually carrying out the service. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, will marry the couple, and the US Bishop Michael Curry will give a special address. Ahead of the ceremony, they've been speaking to Julie Etchingham.
Well, I'm really looking forward to it. It's such a privilege to do it. I don't know how Michael's feeling.
Well,
He's got a bigger job than I have.
A bit nervous. When I was told, I said, come on, you got to be kidding. Is this an April Fool's prank? And I didn't know for a while. It took me a while to take it in.
It's been a particularly stressful time, though, for the couple, hasn't it?
There's been a lot of pressure on them. And I think the way that they deal with that shows the depth and quality of their relationship.
And what do you think of the fact that we now know that the Prince of Wales will be alongside Meghan Markle as she makes her way up the aisle?
It's very typical of the Prince of Wales. It shows his very affectionate, very compassionate, very generous nature.
What was their demeanour in the rehearsal?
Relaxed, enjoyable, just very straightforward. I mean, no great dramas.
They're usually quite good fun, aren't they? Were there moments of giggles?
One tries to make them fun, and there were some moments.
How will you keep your nerves steady? The eyes of the world will be on you when you're giving your address. Don't mean to heap the pressure or anything.
No pressure. But this is a young couple. And whatever we do is to pray God's blessing on them and their life together.
This is a couple in front of those who love them, and all right, a couple of billion others, committing their lives to each other in the most beautiful words, in the presence of Christ. And all we're doing is just helping them through that process.
The Archbishop of Canterbury and Bishop Michael Curry speaking to Julie Etching just a little bit earlier. Now, people all over the world are going to be sharing in this special day tomorrow, especially in Africa, which is a place really close to the couple's hearts. The small mountain kingdom of Lesotho has a unique connection with Prince Harry, who set up a charity there. Our Africa correspondent John Ray spoke to the charity's co-founder and staff about their love for Harry and the Sentebale spirit.
It's a world away from Windsor. But still, it's a wedding worth making a song and dance about. Here, they've adopted Prince Harry as their own. So says his mentor and friend.
I'm not at all surprised of the choice he's made. Harry is Harry. He doesn't fit any mold. So if he's happy, we're all happy.
The young prince was still grieving for his mother when he arrived in this kingdom. It was an encounter that was to change both for good.
We didn't even know who Harry was before he came in 2004, but we have gotten to love this person because he's here investing his energy, his passion, his love for the children, his heart.
The prince first came here to escape, but he also found among these rugged mountains a place he felt at home, and he found a cause too, and a connection with the children that echoed his mother's concerns. The Sentebale charity the two princes founded has transformed tens of thousands of young lives blighted by AIDS and by poverty. Orphaned babies like Abuti have been given a second chance.
Each time he's here, you can see the smile and the satisfaction in him. If it wasn't for Prince Harry and Princess, so many of the children that we are supporting wouldn't be alive. That's a fact.
In return, Lesotho's children helped Harry come of age. Now they cannot wait to meet Meghan. His bride is American, she's Hollywood, she's mixed race. Is this an important moment for the British royal family, do you think?
Harry is one of us. He is taking a person who has African roots. Again, it just cements our love for Harry and his respect for the African continent.
So on the eve of the big day, they're rehearsing their celebrations that will echo round the mountain kingdom where Harry feels so at home. John Ray, ITV News, Lesotho.
Still to come on the ITV Evening News, we will have the rest of the day's news, including at least 8 people have been killed in another school shooting in the US. And the former Russian spy out of hospital 2 months after being poisoned. Those stories and more after the break. Join me then. Welcome back. At least 8 people are feared dead after a high school shooting in Santa Fe in Texas. A student who's thought to be the gunman is being held by police. And our Washington correspondent Robert Moore has the latest.
We're coming on the air with breaking news, a school shooting with reports of multiple fatalities, this time in Santa Fe, Texas.
This country's 22nd school shooting of 2018 took place 30 miles southeast of Houston. As SWAT teams deployed, the scale of the attack was still unclear. But around the perimeter, frightened teenagers confronted the reality that America's curse had arrived at their school.
I shouldn't be going through this at my school. Like, this is my daily life. I shouldn't have to feel like that. And I feel scared to even go back.
It's been happening everywhere. I've always kind of felt like eventually it was going to happen here too.
Parents who had also gathered at the scene spoke of what they had heard from frantic children who had phoned from inside.
He was in the classroom where the shooter was. According to him, there were 3 students down in the classroom.
Got here as quick as I could, stayed on the phone with her, told her to stay quiet, to stay calm, to breathe.
Police are still establishing the death toll, and it's possible it may climb further.
There's multiple fatalities. It could be anywhere between 8 to 10, the majority being students. One male is in custody.
In the last hour, police have also confirmed that explosives were found at the school, suggesting a still greater massacre was planned. One student described the suspect.
He doesn't really talk to very many people either. He keeps to himself. He wears a trench coat every day, and it's like 90 degrees out here.
How do they allow that?
And then he even I heard that he wore a shirt today, and it said "Born to Kill," the shirt he was wearing.
From Washington, a president who has proposed putting more weapons into schools by arming teachers gave his reaction.
May God heal the injured, and may God comfort the wounded, and may God be with the victims and with the victims' families. Very sad day. Very, very sad.
America is once more absorbing the news of a tragedy that has become shockingly common. Robert Moore, ITV News, Washington.
Here, the former Russian spy Sergei Skripal has been discharged from hospital 2 months after being poisoned by a nerve agent. The 66-year-old collapsed in Salisbury city centre alongside his daughter Yulia in March. An attack the government has blamed on Russia. They are demanding the right to see him and say the UK is flouting international law by refusing. And Theresa May has branded John Bercow's alleged attack on the leader of the House of Commons unacceptable. The Speaker of the House was reportedly overheard calling Andrea Leadsom useless and stupid on Wednesday. And finally tonight, it's not just here in Windsor where people are pretty much gripped with wedding fever. Right across the UK, community groups are going to be holding street parties to coincide with the ceremony tomorrow. And even today, many schools were getting into the spirit. Richard Pallow reports on the national celebration.
Just 4 miles away from the preparations proper, one of the many hundreds of street parties that are being held. Pupils at the Royal School, Windsor, enjoying theirs 24 hours early. Although in Long Melford in Suffolk, they went that little bit further and reenacted the entire event. The mini Harry and Meghan fully getting into the spirit.
I, Henry Charles Albert David,
saying their vows to one another.
take you, Rachel Meghan.
Suffering with nerves.
And hold it.
But there was one thing that they drew the line at.
You may now kiss the bride. What do you think of your bride today?
She was, she was okay.
Just okay?
Yeah, just okay.
In fact, confetti was the thing to pack in your satchel this morning. Here at Riverbank School in Cardiff, there was a cake to cut and consume. 20 miles to the east of Edinburgh, and there's a place you probably won't have heard of, but with a name that you will. Welcome to Markle, a tiny hamlet of just 70 residents who will be doing their bit to toast their royal namesake. Today they were also toasting the happy couple in Colchester, Essex. Pensioners who've seen plenty of royal weddings down the decades, saying that tomorrow's nuptials will be perfect for lifting the country's spirits.
I think it would be lovely. I think that's what we need, don't we? Something like that, you know, young couples getting married and being happy.
And so the message from around the country is simple. Richard Pallo, ITV News.
And just before we go, you can see over my shoulder the preparations for tomorrow are really well underway, with dozens, thousands of flowers being delivered to St George's Chapel. I've never seen so many white roses, I tell you. And you will be able to see all the flowers in their glory if you join Julie Etchingham, Philip Schofield, me and the rest of the team here on ITV from 9:25 for the wedding of Harry and Meghan. You can watch it too live on the ITV Hub. Alistair Stewart's here at 10 from me and all the team at Windsor. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.